2 seasons, 6 regions, over 450 games played, but only one can raise the trophy. This is the FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Championship. We've competed in Paris and Sydney. We've played in Miami, Whistler, and Madrid, and now it all comes down to our final. Live from the Adidas base in Berlin, Germany. From the 6 million FUT champions players worldwide, we are down to our final 2. On the Xbox console, emerging from our Europe region and playing for France, we have Rockyy. From the PlayStation division, also representing the Europe region, from England, we give you Shellzz. At the end of today's final, played on both Xbox and PlayStation, one of these 2 players is going home with the championship, the trophy, and $160,000. Welcome to the toughest FIFA tournament ever. FIFA 17 fans, you are about to see some things that you don't normally see.
Oh, wow! Not expecting that one.
Oh, it's popped. It's in. There it is.
Wow.
Taken out of the ball. The tap is there. And Mark starts off with a goal.
Yes, guys, here we are in Berlin. I am super pumped for this. I'm with my buddy Chu. Chu, are you ready for the biggest FIFA match of all time?
This is, I mean, I was born ready for this. I've been waiting for this my whole life, to be honest.
It's going to be unbelievable, guys. Just watching that back there, we've come such a long way since we started in the first regional in Paris 3 or 4 months ago. But really, these guys started long before that, qualifying online. This is the tournament format for the grand final. It's a 2-legged fixture. 1 match on each platform. That's a PlayStation match, then an Xbox match. The player with the higher aggregate score will win. And it's really important to stress, away goals do count. An away goal in this instance is when you score a goal on the platform you're less familiar with, okay? How are you, what's your less familiar platform, Chu?
My less familiar platform would be the PlayStation 4.
Okay, could you handle that? If you were going to trust in this situation, you had to play on a less familiar platform, could you handle it?
Well, the main difference is the difference in controllers. The difference in the controllers is like they have a different size, style, so if you're not used to it, you might not like have a good game at the start.
Okay, so let's look at our PlayStation player here, Shellzz. These are some of his highlights from this tournament. Over the tournament, he's not really conceded many goals. Okay, scoring not a crazy amount either, but generally his defense has been solid. So whoever's up against him, in this case Rockyy, needs to have a really strong attack if they're going to break through that line. How impressed have you been with the relatively unknown Shellzz this tournament?
Well, I would say that this is one of his first biggest tournaments so far, and he is not calming down. He's not slowing down whatsoever. He doesn't show any signs of inexperience, and I think he's going to go on, and maybe he's going to take the whole thing.
I think it's quite important that no one, and these guys haven't played against him before, obviously from a different platform. Rockyy has never practiced or really interacted with Shellzz in any way online, so he doesn't know what to expect from him. But Rockyy is a formidable opponent as well from France. Let's take a look at some of Rockyy's best bits on the Xbox. He has been very decent, okay? He's been taking names, beating some of the biggest, including Gorilla, who has crashed out, although he's taken home a nice bit of change for his troubles. These guys have already secured $80,000 minimum, guys, but this match is for a whopping $160,000. You can see some of Rockyy's best bits. He scores fantastic goals. He attacks very quickly, tends to dominate possession. That's one way he likes to grind the games out, keep the ball away from his opponent. In this case, his opponent will probably be playing a 4-4-2 formation. Yes. How do you see that interacting with each other?
Well, again, it's about possession and playing out wide. 4-4-2, you can hit them out wide with the wingers, and you're still susceptible to an attack down the middle. So that's what Rockyy's going to do against Shellzz. Try to get him down the middle and expose his 2 center midfielders.
Definitely. It's going to be an amazing game, guys. I can't wait to see who takes home the big $160,000 jackpot. Chu, how can people get in touch?
So you can use the hashtag FUTChampions to get in touch with me, Spencer, or at EA Sports FIFA, and tell us what you think about the amazing match that is coming up right now.
It's going to be insane, guys. We've given you all the information we can. Now it's over to the players to do their bit. And who better to take you through the action than our brilliant casters, Joe and D-Man.
Thanks a lot, guys. And what a final we have in store for us here, Demon.
It's taken us 2 days to get to this point. The group stages were absolutely phenomenal. The brackets today and yesterday as well have just proven time and time again that upsets are possible. But in the end, we have these two players left, and I think we're in for a real treat.
Yeah, both of these guys qualified in Paris long ago, and both these guys have had to face adversity and take down the man that knocked them out back then. Of course, Shellzz does come through, taking down T-Mox. That was on a penalty shootout in the last. It went the distance both games. Rockyy on the other side, he faced off against Gorilla. That went both games, and he came out 2-1 in the end. Yeah, that one. And as they just said, never faced each other. They really probably don't know a great deal about each other because they've been focusing on their own console. Rockyy from the Xbox, Shellzz from the PlayStation. You can see the fixtures they've had there. Both of them suffering losses, of course. For Shellzz, it was in that knockout stage. Did lose one. It was a very close run thing, and he took the lead in both those games. Now, both of these guys are kind of big on possession. Obviously, we're seeing the teams they're setting up here. This is going to be Shellzz team so far. Nothing too spectacular from it. Looking towards, obviously, the right side. He's going to be starting on the PlayStation, remember. He's had a change. He's changed his centre-back. No, that's Manolas. That's Manolas in there, isn't it?
The trio of Roma basically is what he's been going with. Tried and tested for him so far. We've seen a lot from Modric as well. Some beastly goals from him so far this tournament. And, of course, we are, as you said, rightly so, playing on the PlayStation first, which is the home console of Shellzz. So he's the man that's going to have to come out flying here, try and put as many in the back of the net as he can, because after that, he'll be going to his away console. In theory, the more difficult challenge for him.
Yeah, it looks like he has Neymar, Dybala, and David Luiz on the bench as well. If he needs to make some changes, we'll keep our eye on that. He's been playing 4-4-2 tactic a number of times through the group stage. When we got to the bracket stage, he kind of switched it up a little bit, started to go into 4-2-3-1. He talked about it earlier on in the day, just wanting to try and catch his opponents off guard. Now, is it going to be interesting to see what he does against his opponent? Of course, we're starting to see Shellz's setup here, just adjusting, changing things around. I think I just caught a glimpse of 4-2-3-1 there. Yes, I did. So he has chosen to go 4-2-3-1 here against Rockyy. Now, Rockyy, you can see, obviously, that's his tactic there as the red. Has been possession hungry. Can he do that against Shellzz, who also plays the same style?
And that's the interesting thing about this one, not just that one player coming from PlayStation, one from Xbox, but they do play a similar style. Obviously, formation's different. We heard from Chu there that Rockyy is going to have to try and hit Shellzz down the middle because of that spread 4-4-2 that he likes to run. And that could be the crucial point of this one. Here we go then. It is Shellzz in the blue kit from left to right. Rockyy in the red of Bayern Munich from right to left. This game is for $160,000 and the FIFA 17 Ultimate Team Championship Cup.
We've been on a journey for the last 5 months, beginning in January with the qualifiers, December as well, also in there. And obviously these guys both qualifying in Paris. That was back in February. They have had a heck of a journey. 40 games a week were played for an entire month, 160 games, and these guys were coming out on top with 156 out of 160 wins. Massive, massive, impressive results. But not only that, then they had to go the distance in Paris. They qualified second and first. Second for Rockyy. Shellzz finished third in that qualifier, and now we find ourselves here in Madrid. They've had to knock out 30 opponents to reach this stage. They are the best in the world. Who's going to take it?
Question that we're going to answer in the next hour or so here. And we already saw Shellzz testing the hands of Neuer, and as you'd expect, they seem pretty safe, at least for the start of this one. But don't make a mistake, they shall be tested here again. There's possibly some nerves coming in. Keep an eye on those cameras. Here's a great through ball. Ronaldo comes in. Shellzz just 10 minutes in on his home console will break the deadlock and go into the lead. An early goal for him. That's going to work wonders.
Yeah, it's a home goal. It's what he needed. Settle those nerves earlier on. We'll have a little look at their hands. You can see them, both of them fairly nervy on the console. Controllers, of course, we were talking about the different sizes. It can be a lot about the shoulder buttons. So certainly for Rockyy, obviously on his away console, it is a smaller controller. So obviously if he's used to almost a claw grip, you guys at home, you all have your own consoles, of course. You know the size of the consoles. If we're used to a claw grip and it's a smaller one, it might just be a little funky for his hands. So he's got to get used to it. And obviously the opening 10 minutes is really when he's trying to do that. He's had an hour beforehand to try and get a grip on this one, but now we're into the big game. He's got to try and get an away goal. Ronaldo just wide, and De Gea saves his bacon.
Yeah, just 4 minutes after that 1-0, a chance here for Rockyy to bring it back, but knocked wide by the keeper. Corner was taken short. Was actually dragged quite far back there, but he'll bring it back towards the edge of the box with Vidal. Tries a direct ball. It falls to Modric. There's an offside there, though.
So, opening first 15 minutes, obviously, does give the home advantage. Shellzz with that big breakaway ball through the middle. A great pass as well to set Ronaldo running. Nainggolan to Suarez. Suarez playing fairly deep here. Gareth Bale starting to make a run down the wing. Not too many people using Gareth Bale. Of course, this is the FIFA Ultimate Team. You are able to select just about any player in the world that you may like. Obviously, you may dislike them. You never know. But either way, you select the best available. And, of course, these guys have got just about everything available to them. And Gareth Bale, the choice. David Alaba, of course, playing here in Germany, along with a number of other players within this Ultimate Team. That's a great breakthrough. Ronaldo, he just needs to knock it forward and take a shot on. Oh, and Neuer gets down low and saves again.
Yeah, I was feeling the pressure there from the defenders that were closing in. Decided to shoot early. There's a header at the front post. We've seen a couple of those sneaking in from Ronaldo. You'll see that often, either a player taking a corner short and trying to really wriggle their way into the box, or aiming for that front post. Those seem to be and have been true and tested as the most successful ways to take corners here in Berlin. Meanwhile, we see Rockyy back with possession now. Of course, had a chance just a few minutes ago to level this one up. He may well have another here with Ronaldo. That's nicely done from Pogba. And we'll just trickle back to De Gea. 26 minutes in, it's Shellzz that leads.
Throughout the tournament over the last 2 days, Rockyy has conceded in every single game. However, Shellzz has the best defense, or well, I should say joint best defense here in Berlin. He's conceded only 4 goals in total throughout this tournament. 2 of them, of course, coming in that divisional final. Ronaldo to Neymar. Rockyy in the red, pushing forward. Representing vitality. Looking to see if he can get his hands on the trophy, but he's got to get himself some goals here. A 1-0 loss is not the end of the world on your away console. And that's going to be a great chance through for Suarez. Nainggolan, he was a big player for Shellzz in the divisional finals, and it looks like he's continuing that way for Shellzz here in the grand final.
Rockyy, though, I feel is starting to, get a bit more possession, maybe calm any nerves that he's had coming in. Let's not forget, this is his away console, so every goal is going to count just that little bit extra if we are drawn in a drawn situation come the end of our 2 legs. We'll keep you updated on how that all works as we move through, but for now, it is, of course, Shellzz with the lead. He's just been given advantage there, so play will continue. No foul given, but he's given the ball away just after. It's Alaba here for Rockyy. Going to charge down this bottom side. His options are limited, and Ronaldo had enough of him there. Just comes in, knocks him off the ball, and now Shellzz will be able to build something of his own. We're not too far away from half-time here in our first leg on the PlayStation. And unsurprisingly, it is Shellzz on his home console that is leading. Can he get himself another little chip over the top? Not got enough weight to it, though. Ramos to clear.
We're starting to see pretty even possession between both of these teams, Joe. So far, obviously, looking through the tournament, you can see it is Rockyy holding that 62% again. It's been a fairly average statistics that we've been used to seeing for Rockyy, but Shellzz at 38%. He's had a bit more of the ball over the last 10 minutes, I would say. Obviously, the goal he scored early on was a direct through ball, and that's really it. I mean, Rockyy, it's all well and good holding possession. Just look at Barcelona in real life. You can hold possession when you like, but sometimes you just can't get those goals. Of course, they did a number of times in real life, and are certainly challenging for La Liga. But as it is here in the non-traditional sport, I guess you could say, online in the consoles, many Barcelona players are active, but as it is, they're both on either side. Neymar getting forward for him. Ronaldo trying to slip Messi through there, not able to work for him, and Ronaldo returns. Neymar, there he is down the wing for Rockyy. He's got to cut inside. He's not going to go for one of those big long passes. He needs to try and get the cut back and try and pull the keeper out of position, but it's not to be. It's a 1-0 first half start for Shellzz.
Yeah, brilliant start here for Shellzz. Still a long, long way to go, though. Of course, just the first 45 minutes of our first leg.